introducing the speaker, you guys have to be sending the emojis because we have we, we have we have it's not that time. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to hold it. That's why I'm trying to hold it. If I got to be here, you guys are supposed to be sending emoji safe. You know how Legacy Lab event has always been. You guys are supposed to be sending the emojis to let me know that yes, we are ready for tonight. We are definitely ready for tonight. We are ready to be impacted, gain everything that is necessary for us in today's event. And I'm very sure our speaker is ready for us. So she's ready to give us everything we need for tonight. Okay. Ta-da. It's that time. It's 7:05 already, and I'm about to introduce to you, you know, our amiable speaker that is about to, impact the knowledge of exploring tools and techniques for our business, analysis, and intelligence. And she goes by the name, I don't know if it's a Miss or Mrs.
Do you want me
Sorry,
to
ma, can you
clarify?
call me? Yes, definitely.
Okay, it's a miss.
Okay. Hey, it's a Miss. All right. She goes by name Miss Esther Folorunso, and she is a business analyst at MT. Hood Community College, Oregon, USA. Wow. So this time around, Lab went as far as USA to go and bring us speakers. Because Legacy Lab is not joking. The Digital series is not joking. So right now we have an excellent speaker in our midst, ready to impact us with knowledge of business analysis and business intelligence. Either you're a techie or not, like I said earlier, so far you have a brand, Digital S series is just out there for everybody, for each and every one of us to gain from. So let me see that emoji. Because right now, Miss Esther will be coming in. I want you guys to give me those emojis. Those emojis, because Miss Esther, I'll be handing over the mic to you right now. And I want you to take the floor, impact us with all the knowledge you have for us tonight. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, mommy. Wow, the hype is wonderful. Okay, give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Okay. Please, you could let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, I don't think I need to give an introduction of myself again. Omomi has done a very perfect job, and today would basically be looking at business analysis and business intelligence, and trying to draw a line as to whether it's tech or not. As much as possible, I would really want this to be as interactive as possible. I'm not going to be calling out people, but I want people to speak at um say when I ask questions, because I have an icebreaker, two icebreaker questions, by the way. So let's start. Give me a minute. Okay, so I'm taking that out. So there's going to be the first icebreaker, by the way. Do I have volunteers before I bring up the question? Is there anybody that wants to volunteer to be on the hot seat? Okay, I have Sam Adeyemi. Okay, so the question is this. In Nigeria or everywhere, we're hearing tech bro, tech sis. So what's your view of tech, by the way? What do you think it relates to, or what do you think?
Sorry, the question again. Sorry.
Yeah, so what's your view of tech? What do you think it is? Like when they say, oh, someone is a tech bro, someone is a tech sis, what do you think it means actually?
Okay, so generally, when people say someone's into tech, I think they categorize the person as someone that codes, someone that writes
Mm-hmm.
codes. Like, yeah, I think that's like general categorization of the word tech when people call someone a techie. They think, oh, this person writes codes or he acts. Yeah, probably that also.
Hacking.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you. So I have another icebreaker which I also want you to answer. If you have an opportunity to pick between a personal maid in the house and a personal chef, which would you pick?
I'll go with a chef.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, sir. You cannot cook?
No, no, no. It's not about cooking. Like, okay, the thing is, for someone to be called a chef, the person is a professional at what he does, and um, the person can also prepare varieties of meals and even meals that I don't know of and meals that I can't prepare. So yeah, I'll go with. I like trying new things, and yeah,
Okay.
maid can
Thank you.
possibly do what I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. So we'll just go right in. These are like the 4 sections we're going to be looking at. Um, for the topic of today, business analysis, business intelligence, I'm going to try to bring in interpretations or definitions for what each of them are, because truthfully, they are different things. Just to be clear, business analysis is different from business intelligence. In the professional world, we have people that actually do both. So it's always difficult these days having a title to give yourself. But really what makes the difference is the amount of skills that you have, and not just the skills, the kind of organization that you are in. Because we have some organizations also in Nigeria that would want to hire a data analyst, and they want somebody, yes, there's an element of coding in data analysis, but they also want somebody that does database development. Like, those are two separate roles, but they want one person to do like those two roles. So, but these roles are separate, they are unique, but they have will I say an umbrella. And like what Sam mentioned, you say somebody that codes is into tech, somebody that does cybersecurity hacking is into tech. Well, in both business analysis and business intelligence, giving that answer at the very beginning, we do a lot of coding, but 100% our work is not 100% coding. We have other things that basically fall into, will I say, the technology bit. Then we try to look at the skills and how to develop ourselves. So I'll just kickstart. Now, business analysis is a broad field. Let me start from there. Now, I'm not going to go through this definition. Let's just be let's just to be clear. Now, I'm sure we've heard that there has been a lot of hype actually also about the field of business analysis. Like today, you hear somebody say, I'm a business analyst. You hear another person say, I'm a business analyst. You see it on the news. Like everybody, people are just coming up to understand or coming up to just call themselves business analysts. But basically, what makes you a business analyst? Now, being a business analyst is a wide umbrella, and we have now become governed by the IIBA, called the International Institute of Business Analysts, and they have a body of knowledge, more like a guide or a rule book, that every business analyst must follow. Now, according to that guide, what business analysis basically goes to is how you are able to create change, enable change in an organization. Simple. So however you are going to cause a change in that organization is nobody's business. But as a business analyst, your role is just to cause that change, to make that change happen. And your role is to stand as the end user of whatever product or whatever thing that is going to lead to that change. Now, in the process of doing business analysis, you get to do business intelligence. So business analysis is the broad umbrella, but in like into it or within it, you now get to do a lot of, like, there are a ton of other tasks that one is able to do. Now, also, when working on things, say a company, for example, a fintech company, for example, wants to have a website that works for payment solutions and all that. Having a business analyst that understands this is what the customers I'm working with, or who my clients will be, that will make use of this website, that will help me make use of this my technology to generate funds, to have currency transfers, currency exchanges. That kind of person that serves as the middleman is who people refer to as a business analyst. But you are not just a business analyst because you're a middleman. You also ensure that change happens. And I don't think there's any company today that would tell me that they don't want to change, because the world is evolving. We have AI taking a lot of jobs from people. Now, the intelligence bit is more of dealing with data analysis and more of technology, where you work with data. Different data is generated every day, like even this meeting that we're having is a source of data. So that's where data analysis also comes in. But what do we do with all the data that is generated? So business intelligence just helps us to understand and make sense of any data that we have. So a company has a data. What's the role of the data? Like, what's the benefit? You just have tons of data. It's not useful in making any major business decisions. Now, last month I learned you guys had a cybersecurity seminar. Now, looking at this IBA business analysis specializations, and the graphic might not be clear. I just picked it up directly from the IBA website. So we could actually just do a Google search, IBA business analysis specializations. Now, you can see that you have the business data analytics bits of it. That's where you see people that are business intelligence analysts. You have chief data analysts, chief technology officers, chief data officers. Those are roles. So this table just basically shows you, not a table now, this chart, this big circle just basically shows you different roles, different names that you are called as working under or working in the field of business analysis. Now, if you're a cybersecurity expert in business analysis, these are likely names, career names, when you're searching for jobs, that most companies would use. Now, there's also a hype with, I'm sure you guys must have heard of Agile. These days we talk about Agile and Scrum. Many people would also wonder, what's Agile and Scrum? Well, that's also a part of business analysis. But this is something that we can look at, that we can always look at later on. Now, talking about the tools, where we look at what the role of technology is in both business analysis and business intelligence, there are a lot of tools. I'm sure you guys, for the coding aspect, we have people that make use of Python. For database development and also coding, we have SQL, that's the structured query language. We have Tableau for data visualization. We have Power BI for data visualization. We have the K9, SAP. Like, these are just a whole bunch of tools. Now, these tools are not only this, like, there are a whole lot of tools that are coming up. In fact, maybe by tomorrow, another tool will come up. And one thing I appreciate in every organization, my organization, for example, even though I've done a lot of things, or while working in Nigeria, I've had quite a number of experience with Microsoft Office products. Microsoft is coming up with a ton of things. There's one that came up, I think last year, Microsoft Power Automate. Now, Microsoft Power Automate is an entirely different tool, also within Microsoft Teams. So that's also another thing. Using Power Automate, you try to use it for project management. Like, that's just one spectrum to tell you that there are a whole lot of tools. Now, to be a business analyst, or to be a business intelligence analyst, doesn't mean you have to learn everything. I think if that's a question in everybody's mind, the fact is this: people would say being a jack of all trades, master of none. You see many people tell you, oh, I know how to use this. Personally, and this is coming from a personal standpoint, looking at the tools on the table, personally, I make use of SQL. My present role does not require me making use of Tableau, but I know how to use Tableau. My present role requires me making use of Power BI. I learned how to use Power BI. Some of all these tools, you have to learn it. You have to take trainings and things like that. But it also depends on what your organization is requesting for. You would see so many job adverts. Oh, we need a business analyst that knows that works on Python, a business analyst that works on SQL. understanding what some of all these requirements are and how you can meet it. But the most popular tools used in business analysis, say for coding, for example, most people would always recommend that you learn SQL. I have a lot of people, I have a couple of friends on LinkedIn. One is called the SQL Queen. She's a Nigerian. She's doing amazing things using SQL. I have so many of them that are Tableau certified, Tableau developer certified. They are doing amazing things. So another thing is you can work on these tools and be an expert. Though it's not compulsory you be an expert, but at least knowing how to do the basic things. Now, if you take a look at my resume, most of all these things are tools that I also learned on the job. Now, I learned how to use Monday.com. Now, Monday.com is a particular tool that is used in business analysis now for project management tasks, where you are dealing with everybody in the IT team. So just giving a bit of a background, my present role I work in the IT department with my the developers, the front stack, full stack, like everybody IT related. But everybody basically has to answer to me. Now, this is not being the Oga boss. We are working to make sure that something is working in the college. Now, if we decide, oh, we need a new website for the entire community college, it's something we have to do. I'm not the one that is doing it directly, but I'm the frontliner. I'm not the one doing the behind the scenes development, but I have to put myself in the position of the people that will make use of that website tomorrow. So if I look at what they are doing and I'm like, you guys, I can't understand this thing, they have to go back. So that restructuring is where the business analysis part comes in. But having a good hang of some of these tools, most of these tools are very important. Now, there's also something called where you deal with process management. So Visio, Balsamic, ClickUp. Okay, Visio, Balsamic, and the Lucid Chat and Sparks are process management tools. We'll just basically go into that later on. But also, I'm not going to read all this. But I need to clarify, in business analysis, where does technology come in? Like, what angle, where does it come in? And like I mentioned earlier, it's the bridge between business needs and the IT solutions. So every industry needs IT solutions. The healthcare industry needs IT solutions. The education industry needs IT solutions. The finance industry needs IT solutions. You can be a business analyst in these different industries. And being in an industry grants you that opportunity to be an expert. Now, while in Nigeria, I worked in management consulting. I did more of financial analysis, business and financial analysis. I had an opportunity of working in variety of industries. Now, I'm presently in the higher education industry, understanding that I am still doing business analysis. I'm still working with my tech tools, but I'm doing it in a different industry that has a different definition. So as a business analyst, you're going to be very flexible. It's the same principle all around, but how you apply it in an industry really matters. Now, you have, if you check some companies' websites where you have the organizational charts, I'm sure you've seen, like, organizational chart is like the most standard process model that I could relate to. Now, if you want to draw an organizational chart, we have tools that can make that easy for you. Not even PowerPoint. That's where Visio comes in, Balsamic, it's there. That's a process model on its own. Now, if in an organization you want to show, oh, let's say for a supply chain company, starting from the order management, you want to explain to people, oh, the order comes in, the customer, a new customer, you have two different kind of customers. You have the new customers, you have the existing customers. Oh, this is how the new customers makes the order. This is how the order goes to the warehouse, and they try to confirm if this product is available. It goes from the warehouse, oh, payments, the payment solutions, then delivery, logistics, everything. That entire process. Business analysis allows you to draw process models that can explain to even a blind man that this is what we do, this is how we do it. Now, different organizations are trying to be more process oriented and have process documentations. That's where business analysis comes in. So that's the role. So even though you are doing business analysis, your tools are handy in working with it. Now, in business analysis, you also do data analysis. You cannot tell me you're a business analyst and you cannot bring out, the company has data and you cannot make sense of what the data is saying. Like, there's a whole chunk of data, but am I explaining this data to say a potential investor now? Am I giving him, oh, this is sales, this is this, oh, these are like, this is the list of all the sales we made in 10 months? Am I just giving him that broad list? It doesn't make any sense. That's my role as a business analyst. And while doing data analysis, I can use SQL for my data analysis. I can make use of Microsoft Excel for my data analysis. And if I want to now visualize my data, I can even make use of Microsoft Excel for visualization. If I want to visualize my data, I can make use of Power BI, I can make use of Tableau. That's in business analysis as a whole. So even though you are doing business analysis, you still have the intelligence bit of it. That's why I said business intelligence also comes in under business analysis. So, but most roles, quite frankly, especially in the US, they expect you that if you're a business analyst, your business and intelligence skills must be sharp. That is where you basically have to be an all-rounder. You basically have to learn all these skills. And quite frankly, learning all these skills are not easy. But as we go on, we'll take a look at how different things we can do to basically benefit ourselves. Now, another thing we basically do for business analysis is something called requirement management. That's a whole different topic on its own. But giving like a layman understanding, for those that are IT guys on the call or IT enthusiasts, you must have heard about requirements at some point. Now, if you are building a website, or you are trying to build an LMS, say a learning management system, or even an HMS and like hospital management system, or just anything that has to do with IT or technology, you need to define what the criteria are. You need to define what the requirements are. Now, my role basically defines that requirement. These are the functional requirements. This is the non-functional requirement. This website must be able to run at so and so speed level. This website must not be cramped with a lot of things. This website needs to have multiple language translations. All those things have to be defined. So at that point, that is a requirement that has to be met before we even start any process, or before we even start anything that has to do with the analysis of whatever system we're working on. Now, where the technology now comes in for the intelligence bit, the fact is, when you're doing business intelligence, it's very rare for people to separate you from a data analyst. And if we look at the skills spectrum that we showed previously, you see that data analysis, business intelligence, everything is still under one umbrella. Analysis, data analytics. Now, but what do we do? In business intelligence, you have data warehousing, data mining, data visualization. And if you remember, we still do some of all these things in business analysis. But being a business analyst with an intelligence framework, with an intelligence specialization, makes you hot cake. So presently in my present role, even though I work in the IT department, I still attend to data needs for other departments, because I'm a business analyst. I'm doing the entire thing. I'm doing the entire spectrum, but there are still data needs. Everybody's data needs to make sense. So the most important thing is making it make sense to people using different visuals like charts, your graphs, bar lines, just different things that will basically make your data to have sense or make sense. Now, when we now try to look at what are, will I say, the skills that are needed for this, apart from even you learning all the IT and all that, as a business analyst, what are some of the skills that we need? That's where the basic mathematics that we did in secondary school, some of us did it in 100 level or 200 level, mean, median, mode, standard deviation. Let me even put some people on the hot seat right now. Our hype woman, Omomi, please, can you remember the formula for mean? Or is there anybody that can even remember the formula for mean, median, mode, standard deviation?
I'm just a fresh graduate. I'm a fresh graduate.
Okay. Yeah, what's
Summation
the
X
formula for
over
mean?
N. That is the summation of the values given over the total numbers of the value.
Okay. Oh yeah, who
Hey,
wants to define mode for us? Let's even start. Let's do mode. Not Omomi this time, another person. Who is giving us a definition for mode?
Definition for mode. Mode is the like the number that appear the data that appear most.
Okay. Maybe the hardest now. Standard deviation. Who will give us that definition? Let's see. Standard deviation.
Actually, standard
Actually.
deviation is okay. Standard deviation is like uh it's like I don't want to define it, but I know it or not. But standard deviation, what it does is that it shows like the rate at which the actual value
Mhm.
at which the
The-
answers like
mhm.
some data vary from the actual value. But
Okay.
I can't remember the formula.
No, you even tried. Like that's the whole idea. Now, you know when people say school is scam or school na scam, a lot of us have heard that, like we've heard that a whole lot of times. The truth is this: all those foundational knowledge or basic knowledge, even though we are not doing logarithm and indices, like I can't even remember the last time I did that, or permutation and combination. Some of all these tools already do these things. If I have an entire data set and I need to get the mean, Excel is there to do it for me. SQL is there to do it. But if I don't have that foundational knowledge that, oh, this is what I'm looking for. Oh, I just want mean. When somebody now asks you when you're presenting in like in a seminar or something, or you're presenting to your board, what does the mean? Oh? Like kilo mean, what's it talking about? And you cannot define it. So as a business analyst or even as a business intelligence expert, we expect you to know these things, even if it's not the entire thing. At least have an understanding. So when you see a data, say for like 4 years, a 4-year data set, and you see that, okay, in 2020, the sales was 20,000. In 2021, the sales was 25,000. In 2022, the sales was 26,000. I'm moving from 21 to 25 to 26 now. Now, in the last year, remember I said 4 years. In the last year, the sales moved. I'm not going to use moved. Like, let me not use moved. The sales became 2,000. Now, with those four sales figure that I quoted, is there somebody that can give me an explanation of what that means? If you are going to, if somebody asks you and gives you a data that has that kind of thing, can somebody just try to give me a background? Like, okay, what would you explain this to be? Do I have a volunteer? In month 1, sales was 20,000. Month 2, 21,000. Month 3, 25,000. Month 4, 2,000. So how would you explain that? Is there somebody that is willing to? What's like the
I
basic
like
explanation?
I did not get the question.
Okay, you have a chart that shows you that we are looking, okay, as a company, we are looking at January, February, March, April. In January, as a company, the chart shows that we had 20,000 naira of sales. Month 2, February, the chart shows that I have it like 22,000 naira sales. March, the third month, it shows that I have 26,000. I'm moving from 21, 22, 26. Okay, let me stay consistent. 21, 22, 26. Then in the fourth month, my sales now became 2,000. What will you explain? What's that progression like? So in that kind of situation,
Actually, there's a decline in the month of in the last month. There's a
last month,
decline in
exactly.
yeah.
So that like you are able to identify trends. Like I look at the chart. Oh, there was a decline. Where your analysis now comes in, your technical bit is understanding why there was a decline. Oh, and even for the other months that it was 21 and the other one it was 22, there was an increase of 1. Why? Is it that something happened to the weather? Like you just try to look at all round situations to basically understand and let your data make sense. Now, programming languages, like I said, It's not everybody that will learn how to code. I learned how to code. I did a bit of Python, but I don't use Python. In fact, I've not used Python like in the last 4 years. SQL, I used SQL last. That would be last year, before I wrapped up my master's program, if I'm not even mistaken. Right now, I don't even need SQL for anything. I have the people that do the SQL, like that work on SQL. But if I see an SQL script error today, I have an idea what it entails. I've worked on it, but I don't use it again. I've not had any reason to use it. Let me just say that. Now, I've never even used it. But I have people that are experts in this thing. So learning all these things will make you not just an all-rounder, but having that basic understanding to trash out problems as they come. Then another thing is, give me a minute. Okay. Now, that's just the technical bit. Now, the non-technical bit is this. Let me ask another question. There's this popular thing that most people, when you are invited to an interview and they ask you, what are your strengths? In Nigeria, there's this one thing we used to say, oh, I am a perfectionist. Like I need everything to be perfect. I need to know that everything is perfect. Oh, I can work under pressure. Please, how many of us have used, we have all used that, by the way, but let's be realistic. You've used it before. I can work under pressure. I'm a perfectionist. My work has to be excellent. That's a weakness. Just start confessing your sins. Where are they? If you can raise your hand, please raise your hand. Or is there anybody that is innocent, by the way? You've never said you can work under pressure before. All right. So I think 2 weeks ago, this is like a personal story. Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, I was just lamenting that and I was the one that said I can work under pressure. But the pressure, it choke. Like it has gotten to that point that okay, at that point, it was not funny. But it is what I said in my resume. In Nigeria will stress the living daylight out of you, the work environment, and even the economic, this will stress you. Now, coming to, let's say, being in another country, is not entirely different because the job is there. You have to do it. And here, they say you are working for 8 hours. You have to do the 8 hours. Like, that's just like cultural difference and all that. But this also goes down to non-technical skills that we should have as business analysts. The truth is you have to know how to work under pressure. Because you say, oh, this website must be implemented in 5 days. And in day 3, your developers are still saying Jack. Your developers are still telling you, okay, I had a meeting with one of them and I was still asking for meeting minutes. Like day 3. That's it's a whole different scenario or situation. But I'm just giving an hypothetical example. Say you have 5 days as a timeline and somebody is telling on the 3rd day, somebody is not ready, giving you wonderful reasons why he's not ready. Most of the time, those reasons are tenable. But you should also remember that as a business analyst, you are dealing with a whole lot of things. The project's budget is also in your hand. And remember, you're not just budgeting for financial, you're not just doing financial budgeting. You're also budgeting risks. You're also budgeting time. And remember, I said here, you bill people for their time. So I cannot hire a developer to work for 5 hours. And you as a full stack developer, you are not doing your job so well that the developer now has to work for 7 hours. That's going to be a budget overrun for me. That will make my head to start like is enough stress. So your non-technical skills, you need to work under pressure. You will work under pressure. That's the truth. Because you're also dealing with human beings. You need to be an active problem solver. You need to think, your brain has to be working over time. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to effectively collaborate. Now, collaborations say, many of us say we want to work remotely. We want to work remotely. Working remotely, I can tell you, is sweet. Or is there anybody that prefers going to the office here? Let me ask. Maybe I have people that prefer going to the office. You prefer work from home or going to the office? Like, work from home is chill. Like, I can flex, I can sleep. Like, I have downtime. Let me go and rest my head. Work from home. That's not the entire like the entire gist. But you're working from home and you have somebody that is in another time zone. Your work hours say is officially 8 to 5. You have somebody in another time zone that his own work hour is, or his own work hours are like way terrible compared to yours. How do you collaborate with this person? And your job has to be done. The task has to be done. The project has to be implemented. So you need to know how to effectively collaborate with people because you are dealing with human beings. Apart from knowing the IT bit of it, non-technical, your people management has to be top notch. Now, when people say, "Oh, is it business analysis, business intelligence? Is it tech or not tech?" If you are working in the IT, let's say the IT spectrum or the IT department, for example, you need to know what they do. If you don't understand what they are doing, then why are you there as a business analyst? If they are talking about, database administration, how the schemas are not right, or the ERDs are not well aligned, the entity relationship diagrams are not aligned, and you just be looking glum. You don't understand, you don't have an understanding of what that business entails, of what that industry entails. So that's where your non-technical skills come in. So apart from you being technical, dealing with all the tech bits, you also have to be sharp. You also have to be like on top of your game. Now, we're wrapping up now, where we go to practical skills. Like, what do you think, if you are looking at business analysis or even business intelligence as a career bit, where are you now? Like, and I'm going to use, I would like to use one person, say, as a spectrum. And this is not just going to be for business analysis or business intelligence. If you know you are looking at a career or a future in anything IT related, can I see your hand up and you are willing to be a volunteer? Let's start from there. Is there anybody that is going to be my specimen? Okay, Sam, thank you. I think you can unmute. So if you look at yourself right now, looking at this, and whatever career path you are looking, what career path are you looking at going into, or what's your ideal?
Okay, like what I really want to do based on tech
Not
career on that.
exactly, or what, like, basically, even if it's not tech, what exactly do you want to do right now?
All right. So basically, I'm already into tech, and yeah, I'm a software developer.
Mm-hmm.
I work with mostly JavaScript a lot. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you already understand you exactly. This is what, I work with JavaScript a lot. Now, you already know the technical skills that are requirement, the tools or the softwares that you're going to be working with in your role. Now, for
Yes.
somebody that is just starting, that wants to be in your present role, that wants to also have the knowledge that you have. So what technical skills, apart from the JavaScript, now what technical and non-technical skills will you recommend if you have an enthusiast now, somebody that's willing to get into your field? What would you recommend the person has?
Okay. Now, based on the complexity of, or should I say, how wide JavaScript is, I'll recommend to someone that's just getting in. I think the non-technical skill should be, should I say, dedication and also time management from the
Mm-hmm.
person, because it's going to require a lot of time from you. And the technical skill will be about learning the tools, basically. Yeah, just learning the tools needed for it, and also
So what
starting
are some
from.
of the tools that you would recommend?
Okay, for going into, okay, for example, now someone going to JavaScript might have, um, should I say, an objective. For example, if someone is going to JavaScript, they might want to be a mobile developer, a web developer, and all
Mhm.
those kind of things. So if someone is trying to go into web development within the JavaScript ecosystem, the person should basically have to start with HTML, CSS, and then pick up with JavaScript, and also advance into frameworks like React or Vue. But if the person is actually going into backend, the person should also get familiar with tools like Express.js and Node.js and other JavaScript server framework.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Sam. So now bringing it back to business analysis. If you don't identify where you are now, like, okay, I don't have, like some of the skills Sam has mentioned, I don't have some of them. You identify it, okay, this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm looking at doing. For non-technical skills, you need to, many people just brush it under the carpet, like it's not necessary. But the truth is, both technical and non-technical skills are necessary. So you need to identify, do I have these things? Oh, I know that my role needs this. Do I have this at this particular time? That's self-identification and being true to yourself. Like, this is not the time where we lie to ourselves that, oh, I know how to use something when I don't know how to use it. Being true to yourself. Oh, even if I know how to use it, I just have a basic understanding. I just have a basic knowledge. Then you need to know what you are working towards. That will lead us to the next step. Where are you going? What's your goal? You have looked at your present skill set. It's not enough. It's not up to par. I need to develop this. What's your end goal? Like, what's your career aspiration, for example? Do you want to be a business analyst? Do you want to be a developer? Do you want to be a business intelligence analyst? Do you want to be a data analyst? Understand what exactly you want to do, first of all. Then, one beauty about business analysis is that you get to work in different industries. You are not industry restrictive. There are so many job adverts that will tell you, oh, I need a healthcare data analyst, a healthcare business analyst. They are specifying that because they want somebody that is domain specific. You can also be domain specific. I've done a bit of healthcare business analysis, healthcare data analysis, but it was just a short stint. It doesn't mean that if I get into into, let's say, a healthcare industry, I will not function. I will function, but the time, more time will be spent in understanding that industry. That's the foundation of everything business analysis or business intelligence. You need to understand whatever industry you are in. The rules are the same, the end goal is the same, but the process is different. So what works in finance, what works in the financial technology industry is different from what will work in marketing. It's different from what will work in higher education. You cannot come with the gra in financial technology or the gra in health and come and bring it to higher education. Nobody will answer you. So you also need to understand your industry, then understand the specific skill needs. Like, okay, this career path and this industry, this is what they need. There are some for the higher education industry, most of them will expect you to be very good with Microsoft Visual because they do more of process. Most of them would expect you to be very good with Balsamic. Most of them will expect you to be very good with the Lucid Chat and Spark. In that kind of situation, what do? You need to identify what skill, what technical or non-technical skill is relevant to what you're working on. Now, I just saw a question that says, what's the difference between business analysis and business intelligence? Now, business analysis is the whole umbrella. Business intelligence, most often than not, 95% of the time, deals with the data you work with in every organization. So where the intelligence bit comes in is how you are able to effectively make sense of that data. So business intelligence is a part of business analysis, but there are people that just specialize in anything data. There are people that just, okay, in any environment, my job is just data. And that's in a very sane environment that allows people to specialize. Like, don't be a jack of all trades. Just be on your database, be on data analysis, be on this. Like, this is what you are doing. So if we are able to identify, like, understand where we are going. It makes the whole process really simple. Now, finally, I would say, what is your plan to develop whatever skill, whatever resource you need to get? If it is Coursera, if it is EDX, if it is boot camps, data code camps, like there are a ton of resources that you can get. LinkedIn Learning, there are a lot of certifications, there are a lot of industries you can affiliate with. For business analysis, the most prominent industry is the IIBA, the International Institute of Business Analysis. Now, you join that. You prioritize, okay, based on all the things I've identified, I want to start with SQL. If I'm going to do SQL between if I'm going to do SQL in this year or this, let's say 2022, I'm going to work on SQL, I'm going to be an expert. 2023, I'm going to work on Power BI. Like that, you basically define what you are doing. Now you set smart goals, not unrealistic goals that I want to learn Java within 3 days. I want to be a cybersecurity expert within 2 weeks. Those things are not realistic. It needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. You need to have something that will track your progress. That, oh, if I say that this is what I want to learn, okay, within 1 month, okay, after 1 week, I should be able to do this. I should be able to do this. That's a strategic plan. Don't go and build a plan that does not work. And you now wake up one day, call yourself a data analyst because you have done just one Excel course. It doesn't work like that. Now develop a learning plan based on all the learning resources that you have, and basically just track your progress. Like, if mentorship works for some people, there are people mentorship does not work for. But if you have the privilege and the opportunity to have a mentor in your field, almost stick to that person like a gun. Let that person be your closest friend. Let the person help you track your progress. Let it be a mentor that will celebrate you, like celebrate your achievement. Oh, you were able to do this within 1 month. Kudos. Like, I need to take you out, not necessarily taking out. Or let me even say, but just somebody that would celebrate your achievement for you, like, okay, you are actually doing a very good job. I think we need to get that kind of person, have that kind of person in our space as much as possible. I saw a question just now. Let me go back to the question. Okay, it says, what is the difference in business analytics and business analysis? Now, that brings us back to the first, and as much as possible, I'm actually done. But our questions, if we have any questions, we can like bring up the questions in the comment section. Now, business analysis, like I've always said, is a broad umbrella. The intelligence part is also usually referred to as the analytics part. So analysis involves analytics as well. It's just the broad umbrella. Because when you are doing analysis, you are not just doing quantitative analysis, you are also going to be doing qualitative analysis. But when they talk about business analytics or business intelligence, you are more quantitative. Is that like, Mr. Adams and Nasir, do you get that picture? So they are not the same. One deals with qualitative and quantitative data. Another one deals with just quantitative. I'm sure many of us have heard of SWOT analysis, where they say, oh, they are doing strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. That is under business analysis. Oh, we are doing, that's some of the things they taught us in business studies, if I'm not wrong. Pest analysis or pestle analysis, you're looking at the political environment, you're looking at the political bit, you're looking at the environment, you're looking at social, you're looking at technological, you're looking at economic, you're looking at legal. That's analysis. So when you start looking at all those data related things, that's where analysis comes in. I don't know if I've been able to answer that question, Mr. Adams and Nasir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Does anybody have any other question? Okay, Sam has a question. Sam, I think you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. I remember you talking about requirements, getting requirements, and I think I can't remember where I saw it, but I think I saw something about requirements gathering. I was reading, it should be an article that I read also. I can't really remember, but I don't know. You know, thing about coding now is that coding is not just enough. you know, have to, like you said, business and everything. You have to know the business part of it and everything. So I don't know if you can shed more light on requirements gathering and yeah.
Okay. Now, when you talk about requirements, we have there are different kinds of requirements. We have both the technical requirements. Now, this is, like I said earlier, is another different spectrum on its own. Now, you have the technical requirements that are either functional or non-functional. Now, functional requirements are the things that whatever solution you are working on needs to achieve. Say, this website is supposed to run on this. Then the non-technical requirements will be this website um, should be easy to read. This website should have language translations and things like that. Now, when you are not dealing with requirements gathering, when requirement as a whole is understanding the basic, maybe usable definition, something that would basically represent either the solution or basically represents the need. When you have all those things, those are your requirements. But to gather your requirements, most of the time requires you using surveys, questionnaires, interviews, benchmarking, a lot of other techniques, like a whole lot of techniques that are required according to the business analysis body of knowledge. That's for requirements. Now, when you now gather all these requirements from people, and you are relating with people, maybe the people that will make use of that software, you also need to relate with all the technical people that are going to do the in-depth work, the people that are going to code, the people that are going to program, the people that are going to write, like do the website development, the UI UX developers or designers. You need to get their requirements. You need to get what they understand that solution is supposed to do. The person that is also going to use the solution, more or less like the user or the end customer, need to have a view. So gathering all those things together are the requirements. Do you get? So it is all those requirements that you are going to now bring together to make sense to, okay, the UI UX developer, whatever you are designing as maybe my website prototype, these are my requirements that I've gotten. It must have this. So if you don't even understand what you people are looking at, gathering all those requirements will be very difficult. So requirements is a whole different scenario. That's quite frankly, there are a lot of tools that also makes requirement analysis very easy. Just yesterday, I still downloaded like another documentation that would help for requirement analysis and requirements prioritization. Anything that will basically make your work easier. But that's like an entirely broad spectrum on its own. Was I able to explain it to you, Sam?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think if nobody else has a question, I think I am done. Thank you
Wow.
very much. Thank
Hey,
you so much.
thank you too. Thank you very much. You also deserve a thank you. I believe a lot of people have gained a lot this night. That a lot of people have gained a lot this night. Even me as a designer, I know that no, these are things that I'm supposed to have. These are things I'm supposed to develop in. These are things that I'm supposed to actually look forward to. Really we broke everything down, like the technical aspect, the non-technical aspect, because that's one of the things we are dealing with here. I'm also a community manager, and there are situations whereby people have ideas. I have a team that we work together to like run the community. Like people have ideas, and the way they communicate it, instead of them to like go in a way that you will understand what they are saying, but you will not be able to even like you will be thinking they are saying the other thing, but whatever
Mhm.
they are saying is actually very useful for the community. So I see communication skill as one of the like very, very important skill, non-technical skill for anybody to have, like communication skill. If you cannot communicate whatever you are saying well, or whatever data you are saying, anything, like in every aspect of life, sef, you need to have communication skill. So I really took that aspect. Business collaboration, business acumen, problems. There is no area in life now that you don't have to solve problem. Even if you are not a techie, sorry about that noise. Even if you are not a techie, you need to solve a problem. So thank you very much. What else have I not mentioned? Okay, the practical skill development aspect where you talked about. Hey, so sorry. The practical skill aspect too, I see that as a very, very important aspect for everyone here. Career aspiration. What do you want to use your career for as a designer? Sorry if you're a developer. Like those are the aspects I was able to really pick up on. As a designer, do you want to look at brand design only? Do you want to go into social media flyer designs only? Like have a niche. I think that's where this is actually going to. Industry focus. Content creator, we call it target audience. Yes, they call it target audience. Have what you like, have that aspect you want to target, have that area you really want to solve the problem for. Specific skills needs. Exactly. As a designer, you don't have idea of design thinking. You don't even have any introductory aspect. You have not even gone to any introductory aspect of in design thinking. What are you doing in the world of designers? So that's about that. So you need to have specific. Is the truth? Sam is laughing. Is the truth? As a designer, you don't have idea of what design thinking is all about. The five, the five what do we call it? The five pillars of design thinking. You don't have idea of it. Like you don't even know about it, and you call yourself a designer. Well, how come you're a designer and you don't have that particular skill? That's actually one of the basics of being a designer. So and also as a developer too, there are other stuffs like basics of it that you really need to have. So have specific skill needs. I really took that aspect too. And I believe there are other aspects that I have not mentioned that some people here would have picked for themselves. Thank you very much for the impactful session.
Thank you so
And
much, and thank you for
the
having me.
audience, to the audience, if you still want to like go through the whole session once again, you just need to fill in the feedback form in the comment section. Fill in the feedback form and have your mail fixed in there so that you can get the slide and the other resources. And she even mentioned places and sites you can develop your skills. Communities are also there. Nigeria has a lot of communities, tech communities out there now.
Hmm.
Make use of all these communities. There are a lot of boot camps that are being hosted. Currently, we have 3 entities going on. There's data analysis. There is even tech for dev. Tech for dev, you need to just finish up the training session, then you go into the challenge aspect. So it's like two in one. You are finishing your training session. You are going into building a project. Do you understand? And you're not just building the project alone. You are winning a prize for it. So there are lots of opportunities out there that you need to look out for. It's not that when people post link in the group, you guys will ignore it, whereas it's something that you will gain from. Exactly, there are lots of information we post in the groups, but people tend to ignore it and think that maybe it's a scam link, or I don't know. They don't just want to check it or go through it to know what is really there. There are a lot of events that are coming out there where you even get to network with people that can mentor you, people that on a normal day you will not meet. If you see them physically, you cannot talk to them. There are events out there, a lot of events that you will attend, and you'll be able to meet them one on one, and they will not have choice but to like attend to you at that point in time. Do you understand? So those are the advantage I would say we have here in Nigeria. Even as a student, I know we have lots of students here. Even if you are not a student, ensure you go for events that deals with whatever skill you are in, whatever skill. Even if you are a brand, if you are a tailor, I believe there are a lot of fashion designers events that are going on. Try to go out there, mingle with people, network. Do you understand? I'm not done yet. I've not gotten there. I've not gotten to where I'm going to. Those are just the basic things I've actually gained, not just from Legacy Lab, but being a community manager. So our Legacy Lab has really done a lot in that aspect for me too, because they've really done a lot. And this is
Yeah.
one of it. I believe this kind of session is a session that out there a lot of people are paying for, to just have this kind of session, and you're getting it for free. So please sit down, please. Take it. Take it now and use it. Don't just take it alone. Take it and use it. Thank you all very much. It was nice being your host for tonight. See you guys next month for another wonderful session.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.